What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. Happy first day back to work for a lot of people. I worked during the holidays, but everyone else was off, so today kind of does feel like my first day back because during the holidays I was kind of just dealing with like urgent tasks and working on stuff like behind the scenes and just things that I pushed to the holidays because I knew I would have like complete like quiet to work on them, if that makes sense. But today is a lot of people's first day back. Sorry for my squeaky roller. It's brand new. It shouldn't be this squeaky. It's a lot of people's first day back. So I have a feeling today's gonna be busy. I had a little bit of the Sunday scaries last night, even though it was Monday. And this is just a reminder that even if you completely love your job, it's normal to have the Sunday scaries. Because listen up. January me hates December me. Okay, December me was like, let's circle back in 2023. Let's reassess this in 2023. And now 2023 is here. And I gotta deal with all these circle back emails. So, not a smart move, Carter. But anyways, today we're gonna get back into a good routine because personally, and this is just how I am, if you're not like this, I give you kudos. I could not like start the new year, like scrap 100% of my old routine and just create like something completely new. Like to me, that's not sustainable. For you, it might be, that's totally fine. But for me, like when I was thinking of like, okay, how do I want to be my best self this year? How do I want to take those goals that I made and break them down into everyday habits and, you know, work on things like getting up earlier and having a better morning routine and a more structured workout schedule, etc. To me, I have to get back into my existing routine because I had a good thing going for me, and then add in those little habits after I've already kind of gotten back into routine. If you can like reverse Uno on your 2022 self and be like, goodbye bitch, you're done, that routine's scrapped, we're starting fresh, I give you major kudos, major props, because that would just not work for me. I don't know why I'm holding this like I'm like a microphone, but I think the first step in like being my best self this year and being the best version of myself is to get back into routine. And that doesn't need to be taking all the little habits you want to do this year and throwing them all into the routine and like, you know, like I said, waking up and just transforming your life overnight. I really want to scrap the all or nothing mindset this year. And to me, this is the perfect way to start. So it's January 3rd. And guess what? I have started on some of my goals, but I am not just like waking up and transforming my life overnight. Like that's just not sustainable. Little, small, everyday habits. So I wanted to take you guys through getting back into routine after the holidays, some tips for like that with work, and then the next video will be like how we're going to start on our goals, because I think it's so important to get back into routine first because you need to have a structure before you implement new things. You know, like you need to have something that you already know and then add the new things in. At least I think so. So anyways, I will say though, I'm really proud of myself because I got up this morning before my alarm even went off, which to me, I'm gonna take this as like a one-off situation. Like that's not normal for me. I think it's just because Matt was making a lot more noise than usual and turning all the lights on. We did it though. That was great. I had a really nice slow morning. And yeah, Matt just left for work. It's 7:30. Y'all know the drill. I start work at 8. I'm vlogging in the kitchen because it's still obviously very dark in here. Anyways, that's what's going on. So welcome to the vlog. I feel like a really fun way to get back into routine after the holidays, especially if you've had like the scaries and like it's your actual first day back at work after like Christmas, New Year's, all that, is to like give yourself grace, take it slow, ease back into that routine, do a little self-care. I don't know, to me, like after I'm on the bathrobe, little eye patch, I'm rolling my face, like I'm having a luxurious morning routine because those like little habits make me feel better about going into my work day, especially if I've been off work for an extended period of time. So do that self-care. It's gonna be different for everyone. Maybe do a face mask. I'm gonna start my day on the couch, to be quite honest. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm easing back into routine. So we're gonna start the morning on the couch. Like I said, if you wanna start and be like bing, bang, boom, I'm going to my office, I'm walking on the walking pad and I'm getting shit done, kudos to you. But I will be easing into it today. And that's totally okay. So we're gonna make a coffee. We're gonna get back into work. We're gonna start the morning on the couch. I'm gonna give myself about an hour. And I'm going to share with you guys some of the things I've done to like kind of get myself ready to go back to work. Well, welcome to the vlog. These are the eye patches I used. If you didn't watch the last vlog, or maybe 2 vlogs ago, I went to Indigo and I got these like cannabis seed infused ones. I really love them. They're really cooling. Obviously, we are hydrating it up before we have coffee. That's super important. That's an already existing habit that I had, but it's something I want to carry into this year. So water before coffee, always. Look at my tiny baby coffee. Tiny baby coffee. Okay, we've changed out of the PJs into just some sweatpants. One of the other tips I have for you guys, which obviously only if like your hair allows for this, but I like to get ready the night before if I'm getting back into routine, because just something about having like, I don't know, my hair done just makes me feel really put together personally. Obviously that's up to you, but I curled my hair last night and I just slept on it. Even if I don't do my makeup, I just feel like I'm ready to face the day personally. That's just like a personal thing I wanted to share. Today is just one of those days I decided I really just needed a little shooter of espresso. I really didn't want an Americano. I wanted to do a little morning coffee shooter. It is what it is. We got a tiny bebe coffee and I love it. I added some milk to it, so it's just kind of like a little tiny coffee. We're gonna walk through some of the key things that we're gonna do today to get back into routine, okay? I'm just reading. I made a lot of notes for you guys over the holidays because I think this is an important subject that no one talks about, okay? First is we are not punishing ourselves for taking time off during the holidays, okay? Time off is important for your mental health, your well-being, spending time with your loved ones, okay? Like, your PTO is there for a reason, so you should not feel guilty for taking it. You should not punish yourself coming back. I feel like it's so easy to have this like critical, I need to catch up all in one day mindset when you come from vacation, but guess what? No one is expecting you to catch up on everything in one day. I always think it's important to have your automatic reply on when you're gone during the holidays with the expected time frame that they can expect an answer from you when you get back. So mine like said, like I'll be working sporadically throughout the Christmas and New Year holiday season. Once I'm back on Tuesday, January 3rd, expect to reply between 2 to 3 business days. If it's urgent, like please like just bring it back up to the top of my inbox. That way people know when they can expect to hear back from you. I just want to remind you guys, it's normal to like be in a funk and have the Sunday scaries and be anxious to go back to work after PTO in the holidays. It doesn't even have to be the holiday season. It can just be anytime you have PTO. Like it is normal. Even like I said, if you love your job like I do. And I also want to say that if you want to add in some new habits to work on, by all means go for it. But I personally just like want to get back into my routine today, and then like once I'm back in my routine in the next few days, then I'll kind of take those New Year's habits and start to implement them. I am starting to implement a few habits, but like I'm not going to overload my system, right? Like I think it's really important to get back into routine. I am going to go to the gym today, but we'll talk about that kind of later. But I am going to try and implement and sprinkle in a few tiny micro habits or things to work on, but I'm not going to overload my system. I'll let you guys know the plan for work this morning before I jump in, because obviously I'm not going to like vlog while I'm on the clock this morning. Okay, so I have my emails in a folder system, which I can probably put up on the screen because there's not any information that I can't share with you guys on there. But I think the most important thing is to make a game plan on how you're going to tackle your inbox. That's probably the thing that's giving you the most anxiety, right? So I arrange my messages based on urgency. So what I do is I say this in every vlog. I'm sorry it's repetitive, but it's just what I do. I start from the last email that I got, like the bottom email, and then I'll do one of 3 things. If it's going to take me 2 minutes or less to action the email, I will just action it then and there. If it's like a quick reply, an email they're asking for, a person, etc. I also have a action folder, so that is things that I will action throughout the day when I have time. And then I have a follow-up folder. So if it's an email that I get that I have to follow up in order to action it, I'll put it into that folder. So I'll drag and drop everything into those 2 folders or action it immediately if it's going to take me like less than 2 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend the morning doing that. I also recommend, if you can, I have a very independent job, so I can create my own schedule in terms of like blocking my calendar. But I blocked off my calendar for the first 2 hours this morning to work on sorting my inbox, and then I gave myself the whole afternoon for like do not disturb time to like get work done. Obviously not everyone's job allows that, but I have a very independent job, so I can kind of time block my own schedule accordingly. But that's the plan for the morning. I'm gonna jump into work once 8 o'clock hits. I think I'm gonna try and read a chapter of a nonfiction book, because that's a habit I'm trying to work on, and I feel like I want to maybe drag in 1 or 2 new habits. I was gonna say drag and drop, but like kind of feeling like maybe I want to do that. So I'm gonna do that. And if you want to add a new habit, literally go for it. I just don't want you guys to feel forced to like create a whole new routine overnight. But if you're like me and you're like, okay, I kind of want to read right now, let's work on the new habit of reading a nonfiction book, if that makes sense. So let's go grab a book, read a chapter for a few minutes, and then jump into work. I also wanted to share the nonfiction book I'm currently reading, but you guys know I'm a mood reader, so like if you see me reading a different nonfiction book every morning, it's normal for me. It's just who I am. I'm a mood reader, okay? But because we're kind of like getting back into routine with work and stuff, I decided to pick up Radical Candor, which is just about Well, it literally says, be kick-ass boss without losing your humanity. And anyone else, when they get a hardcover, take the sleeve off. It can't just be me. I just hate the sleeve. See, I'm not a manager yet, but I am in grad school for healthcare management, and I just like love learning. And I think a lot of this stuff I can even just take into my job right now, since I am the only person on my team. I read the first chapter today, which is about building radically candid relationships, and I annotated it a little bit. So that is what I started my morning doing, and it just kind of starts me off on like a, I don't know, I feel really good and motivated, and like I feel like I've gotten some insight into my morning. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the book that I read this morning. All right, it was fun working from the couch. I gave myself like an hour and a half to just vibe and chill, but now we're gonna have a productive day. I'm the kind of person that like I really just need a slow start when I'm getting back to it. It's 12:40. I got like really into work for a little bit. I took Stella on her morning walk, which one of the things I want to mention, especially when you're getting back into routine after like a long time off, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna work through my break, or oh, I'll take my break later. But regardless, if you have the busiest day in the world, you are still owed a lunch break, so you should still take your break. I always take my break no matter how busy I am, because I know that I am like a better employee and a better worker when I've had time away from my desk. So anyways, I took Stella on our morning walk. It's freezing out. This weekend it was like in the 40s all weekend. It was so nice. I had my spring jacket out, and now it's freezing again. So we went on a nice little walk. I'm gonna make myself some lunch. I'm really craving a smoothie, and I tend to just lean into whatever I'm craving that day, to be quite honest. So I'm gonna make that. And one of my biggest tips, especially after the holidays, is it's so easy for us to be like, okay, I can't eat that. I've had enough of that during the holidays, and you know, kind of move towards more of a restrictive mindset. And something I really worked on in 2022 and works really well for me is what can I add in instead of what can I take out. It's just less restrictive. And yeah, so for example, let's say I really wanted to have some leftover Christmas cookies like as a snack. I would make myself like a sandwich, and then I cut up some veggies, add something nutritious into the meal, and then have some Christmas cookies. You know what I mean? But I'm really feeling like having a smoothie, so I'm gonna make one. I'll show you guys how I do that. And I love a good smoothie, especially after the holidays, just kind of like jam pack my system with some good shit. So let's do that. Alrighty, Matt actually moved all of my smoothie stuff here, which is so cute. So we're gonna grab this. You guys, right here, we always start with water. I do 6. I don't know why, I just do. My go-to is 2 fruits and a healthy fat, which is always avocado. So it's usually strawberries and then whatever else I have. Strawberries and peaches. Personally, I don't like peanut butter in my smoothie, so I always opt for avocado as my healthy fat. Plain yogurt. Y'all can use whatever you like, but I am a plain yogurt stan, especially in smoothies, because then I'll put protein powder and then it just gets too sweet for my liking. I don't measure it. I just do like 2 heaping tablespoons, which is probably about the whole serving. Okay. Then I do protein powder, which I showed you guys in the weekly vlog that just went live. It's from Costco. And I do a scoop of that. Okay, and then if I don't put collagen in my coffee, which I didn't today, I'll just put it in my smoothie. I just do a like heaping thing, which is like 20 grams of protein. And then I top it off with a little bit of flax. And voila, that's the smoothie. We're gonna blend her up. Nice smoothie, and I'm gonna watch some YouTube and take my break, the rest of my break, like 20 minutes. We had our smoothie. I just filled up my water bottle. We're ready to get back to it for the afternoon. I'm in my office. I'm gonna stand. I think I might walk actually for a little bit on my walking pad, which you guys are always asking me about my walking pad, and I love it. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It's pretty compact. It's not heavy, and it's actually wider than it looks. And I don't know, I personally really love it, especially for cold days here, on days that I may not make it to the gym. I love it so much. So I'm gonna walk on that for a little bit, And so now that I've spent the morning kind of going through my emails and prioritizing those, I'm going to spend most of my afternoon just going through those emails now and either following up on them so that I can action them, or action them if they just take a little bit more time. I do this especially when I'm coming back from like a holiday or time off. I always start with the easiest ones first, just so I kind of feel a sense of accomplishment. It's gonna sound super silly, but even though I work from home and like Matt goes into the hospital every day to work, I still, for some reason, love putting headphones on. It just like gets me in the space. I find it's really easy to get distracted when you're working from home. So typically in my focus time in the afternoons, I will actually throw my headphones on with some just like instrumental jazz, something instrumental, study music, whatever it may be. That way I can really focus, because I find it really easy to get distracted with like sounds outside, or especially in the winter when they're plowing snow, it's just like really easy to get distracted. So putting some headphones on, getting to work. I think it's important to note when you're like going through your emails and actioning them is to give yourself a realistic timeline. Don't reply to everyone being like, I'll get you this by the end of the day, or I'll get you this by tomorrow morning. And then you're literally setting your week up for stress and failure. You know what I mean? So I think it's really important to set realistic timelines with people. And the thing we forget is that everyone else is also coming back from vacation too. So people are gonna understand if you say like, hey, I'll get this to you by the end of the week. And if they don't, then they should, because you need to give yourself grace and time to get back into it. I know that like, I know I used to be really bad for this in previous jobs, where I'd come back from vacation and I would tell every one of my emails like, I'll have this to you by the end of the day, because I want to look like a rock star. But all it did was give me an insane amount of stress. So give yourself a realistic timeline to work on tasks, whether it be 1 to 2 business days or whatever you may be. Once again, reminder, no one is expecting you to have everything done the first day that you're back. So it's my little TED talk for you guys. I'm gonna throw my headphones on and get to work. Okay guys, I just pulled up at the gym. I just finished work. I have like literally like 10 minutes of daylight before the sun goes down. Like by the time I get out of the gym, there will be no sun left. But I have slowly started to reincorporate the gym back into my daily routine. This is something I started before like the new year, like the last few weeks of December. If you guys are new here, I'm happy to be open about it, but it's also just like, it's done and over with. I'm fine now. I don't want to like resurface it, but I do think it's an important part of like my health journey. Back in August, I unexpectedly fainted while I was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And I had all the tests and blood work and scans and everything under the moon, and it ended up just related to my body just like giving out. I was grieving, and I had just had COVID, and we renovated our house, and I definitely was just, I had no appetite. I was barely eating. I was like so sick, and my body just like kind of gave out. All in all, I'm feeling like back to my normal self now, for the most part. And anyways, long story short, I had all the tests and everything done. I don't have POTS. I don't have any of that. Sometimes you just faint out of pure exhaustion. Anyways, because my doctor had told me to obviously just like watch my heart rate and to not do any high intensity workout for like a month or two, just to, you know, while I was recovering, because I definitely was still struggling with a lot of long-term COVID symptoms then. I'm a very active person to begin with. I do a lot of walking. Obviously with Stella, I average like 10 to 15,000 steps a day. I'm a very, I'd say an active person. Like I get a lot of movement in, and something in 2022 I really worked on was the term movement and not workout. Like, you know, as long as I'm moving my body, that's okay. I wanted to get a good foundation of moving my body again and feeling comfortable with that, because I was obviously so scared I was going to pass out for like the first few weeks that I just like didn't really, like I was just scared to even go for walks. But now that I'm feeling like good and settled into a routine, I felt ready to incorporate the gym back into my workout. I'm still not doing anything high intensity. It's just like not the season of life I'm in right now. I don't really feel like spinning or doing HIIT or Zumba or anything like that. But I love hot yoga and Pilates and just like low intensity stuff. But all this to be said, that in the last few weeks I've started lifting again, and I went through pretty much all of 2022 and I rarely lifted. I lifted for like a bit in the summer, but I used to be a big lift, like not big lifter, but like I was like, you know, I had a good lifting routine going. I was lifting like 4 to 5 times a week while I was in college, and then also like at the beginning of the pandemic until the gyms closed. So anyways, all that to say that I'm back at the gym. I'm doing a live by Whitney Simmons. This is my 3rd time doing it. I love her app. I highly recommend it, especially if like in the new year trying to ease into a new gym routine, because she has a ton of different ones. This is obviously not sponsored. I just genuinely love it. I'm doing the 3-day essentials advanced right now. But she has so many different workouts, which is great. She has ones for at home, like she had a bunch of quarantine ones. She has beginner workouts at home, and I love that she has like 3-day-a-week workouts, because I think when you're starting a new gym routine, even if you're like me and you have a background in lifting and like being at the gym and you're just kind of taking it up again for the first time in a bit, 4 to 5 days can seem really intimidating, and it can make a lot of people like just give up really quick. So I love the 3-day-a-week workout. I'm passionate about moving my body. I don't know how passionate I am about talking about it on the internet, if that makes sense. I'm happy to share like when I go to the gym and whatnot. I try not to share a ton of the food I eat, just because I think we all eat very differently. But let me know if that's something you guys want to see more of, even if it's just like in a week of my life, like when I go to the gym and how I fit it into my schedule. I'm obviously not an expert. I follow a workout guide, but yeah, I love moving my body. I just don't know, like I'm not very passionate about like health blogs and like all that anymore. Even though I was at one point, I'm not, and that's okay. But we're gonna go get a workout in. I don't think I'm gonna lift today though. I am just like not feeling the greatest. IBS life. I don't feel very strong today. My stomach, I just don't feel very strong today, if you know what I mean. I just feel like my stomach is just a little funky today, okay? And so I think I'm just gonna honestly do 12-3-30. I'm just happy I'm here, because something I'm working on this year is discipline. I have no discipline when it comes to working out, to be quite honest. And so I've been going to the gym with Matt a lot. That helps, like having someone to keep me accountable. And I just want to work on being disciplined with myself. Like Matt is going to the gym on his own after work, but he finishes work like closer to 5. So I was like, you know what? I'm done work. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get it in. And I'm really proud of myself for honestly even just getting here, because like I said, I really struggle with discipline. Sometimes when I really need to motivate myself to go to the gym, I'll bring my Kindle and I'll just read. Another great tip I have for like getting in a lot of reading is I just like to read while I walk on the treadmill. Typically when I'm lifting, I'm doing like 30 minutes or 40. I'm like working my way back up, and then I will start. So a typical lift for me right now looks like a 20-minute walk on the treadmill to warm up. And then I do about 30 to 40 minutes of a lift, and then 20 minutes to cool down on the treadmill, just because Matt's usually at the gym for about an hour and a bit. So I've been reading a ton, and I'm on the 3rd ACOTAR book. So I'll bring that in with me. Just your sign to, you know, don't rush into like a 4, 5, 6, 7 day a week workout schedule. Like start slow. I'm someone who had a good foundation of like walking and moving my body, so I'm adding lifting in. But if you, let's say, are just wanting to move your body in general, just start with going for a walk. You know, go for a walk before work, after work, or on your lunch break or something, and stick to a good walking schedule. You don't have to just add everything in all at once just because everyone else is doing it in the new year. I think it's important to figure out where you fall and make your I don't like the word resolution, but your goals and habits as attainable for you as possible. So for me, I already move my body a lot during the day. I walk a ton. So for me, the next step was adding in a workout schedule. Whereas for you, maybe you are a bit more sedentary and you want to move more. Your first step might be going for more walks, and something that you can do at home that's free. Put on a podcast and go. Do not compare where you are with anyone else. It is your journey, not theirs. And without further ado, let's head into the gym. Okay guys, I'm currently making dinner. I wanted to show you guys because I feel like Chef's Plate is a really good example of like how can you add nutrients in, which I love. Like we're not about restricting around here, especially in 2023. I'm just toasting some almonds for this tortellini, which I love that. I've never thought of that. I also love doing a meal kit because I feel like we try so many new things, but tortellini sounded really good. This was like one of our options, was tortellini. I love that instead of just doing like pesto tortellini, which also, by the way, is totally fine if you want that. They encourage you to add in like peppers and spinach, and I just really, really love that. And even if you don't have a meal kit delivery service, this is like a really great way to just show that you can like, this is like something you can add in. I just personally, this is just what works for me from like a good mindset, health and wellness wise, and like eating. I'm really excited to try toasted almonds in the food though. I've never done that, so that sounds really, really yummy. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Be an example of like a getting back into routine dinner. Like it's still very homey and yummy, but has a lot of nutrients in it. So love that. And it's also meatless. So Matt and I try and do a meatless meal every week, so love that. Literally looks so yummy and just like the perfect meal. I'm really excited to see how these almonds taste. I'm excited, but yum for good hearty dinner. We've got kombucha in a wine glass, and overall I'm really happy with today. I'm really proud of myself for going to the gym. This is just a reminder that like a 20 or 30 minute workout, not even 15-20 minutes, is better than nothing. You know, throw in your headphones, go on a hot girl walk, inside or outside, you know, just get your body moving. You're gonna feel so much better after. The plan now is I actually need to text the girls and say I'm not going to go to book club, which habit I want to work on in 2023 is to not over apologize and to not feel bad for like just saying no to things sometimes. I really rarely miss book club, except if we're traveling, and I'm just like, I'm not up for it. And not in like a, oh, I'll feel better once I'm there, but like book club is probably going to start around 7:30 or 8, and like that's when I like to start my night routine, and I'm all for my routine changing from time to time, but I'm pooped. It was like my first big day back at work. Like I'm kind of exhausted, and I just know that I'm not going to be fully present if I go. Like I'm just going to kind of be like bleh. So I would just rather, you know, have that boundary, and I'm really proud of myself. So the plan is we're going to make dinner soon, and then we're going to spend the night relaxing, which is my typical night. Yeah, not very exciting around here. It's very routine, but that's life. I would take you guys along my evening, but it's the same evening I vlog all the time. Like we're gonna make dinner, and then we're gonna watch Game of Thrones, and then we're gonna go to bed. It's gonna be a pretty chill night. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I hope it served as a reminder that you don't have to have an all or nothing mindset when the new year comes. You know, it's okay to maybe take one new habit and incorporate that into even just getting back into your routine, right? Like for me, it was I got up early, and that was like the one habit I was like, okay, you know what, that's it. I'm not overloading my system. I just want to get back into my routine. And yeah, I'm going to give myself tomorrow too to just like get into my routine, stay into my routine. And then in a few days from now, I'm going to start incorporating some new habits, and that will be the next video you guys see. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.